welcome back to the Social Media Stewards. This is episode 8. It's Lights Out for Livery Season Part 3. And before we get started, just like to say a big thanks to everyone who's been tuning in, listening, commenting, and just getting involved with the podcast. We've been really enjoying doing it, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for all the support. Just seeing so many people watching the episodes and the shorts and kind of giving us comments and stuff. It's been fantastic. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, it is part 3 of the livery season because for some reason F1 teams can't organise to do them all, on the same day. So it has been very spread out. But
Yeah.
shall we start with McLaren?
Yes.
Only because it's the one I've got on my screen.
Yeah. I will bring up the video. Good job. I've got them all at my fingertips there.
Yes, that's good. Actually,
yeah.
oh God.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say, I don't think, other than it's.
Is that the image from last year?
Oh
no, it isn't.
No. And it's ever so slightly different, isn't it? It's
yeah. I was really hoping to come away from the papaya. I really was. When they shown off their shakedown car and it was predominantly black, I thought, oh, maybe the small accents of papaya sort of invert it.
Yeah.
I thought that'd look really nice. And especially after, all the debacle we had last year of papaya rules, I was really hoping they'd step away from that.
Yeah.
But it is a good looking car. I can't deny it.
Yeah, I mean, I said the other week, didn't I? I'd want them to get away from the papaya as much as possible and kind of make that separation, but they've gone the other way and they've added more papaya and just kind of removed some of the black.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So that's just that black stripe, that angled black stripe now across the side pod and the fin, rather than that whole black section at the back. It's never been a bad looking car in the papaya thingy. It's always been nice, but it just looks more of the same. I don't think there's much going on there.
No, one thing I would say, and I know this is only a livery reveal, it's not the actual car, but how thin is the nose on that McLaren?
Oh yeah, it is.
It's extremely pointy, isn't it?
Extremely pointy. I did notice that when I was looking at it, because obviously I was looking at the nose on the Aston Martin as well, which we'll come to.
Yeah.
If you look at it from like the kind of angled side on view, again, we're using the images from the official F1 website for everybody interested. Who's listening on the audio, you'll be able to see them. I will link them in the description as always, like we have done with the last ones. But if you look at that angled side on view for the front, it's almost like crooked, very, very kind of angled, curved. You see underneath the nose as well.
Yeah.
It kind of lifts up quite high and then curves down an awful lot over the front of the wing. It looks very, very different to the others. And if you look at the full side on view, that nose hangs out over the front a fair bit.
It does. Yeah, it does. I really don't. I know this is petty, but I really don't like the wheels.
You know what? Funnily enough, right? I was going to say, of all the wheels and all the cars, this is kind of one of the ones I don't mind year on year.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because like one of those kaleidoscope things where you see it spin really, really fast.
Oh, no, you're wrong. Colors. Oh, no.
What I don't like, this is the thing that I don't like about it. The British Racing Green Alwyn on the air intake.
Yeah.
Then they tried to make it flow by adding it to the wing mirrors.
Yeah.
It does not go.
I get you.
It looks ugly.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the only part of it that I'm like, nah, I don't quite like that. I mean,
that's the thing, isn't it? It's not a bad looking car by any stretch of the imagination. I was really hoping for something a little bit different, sort of with them being the constructors champion and with them having the number one driver. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more special, just to show it off.
A little line of gold separating the black and papaya.
Yeah, well, No, not even that. But if you inverted it and had your number one in papaya instead,
yeah,
I think it'd just look a bit more sexy, as it were.
yeah. I'll tell you what kind of strikes me.
Go on.
Remember a few years ago where they couldn't find a sponsor to save their lives?
Yeah.
And the car just looked bare.
Yeah.
And now it's just plastered. I think that's a testament to how far McLaren have come over the last few years, and obviously 2 dominant years of like constructors championships. Now you're looking for a blank space on the car to add another sticker.
Yeah, maybe just below the Gemini on the black stripe. Maybe that's why they've left the black bit there. They're just showing more space for sponsors. Maybe that's what that is. What is it with the round ring light now, by the way, on all the cars?
I don't know.
Why has it gone round?
It's. I thought that on a couple it might be an aesthetic choice, but I'm wondering if it's regulatory.
It might be. We should know that, really.
We should. We'll look into it for next week. I was thinking, I was like, hang on a minute, like, it just seems odd. I just want maybe it is a design choice, and everyone's kind of gone, oh, it just looks nicer. But I would guess if they've all got it, it's regulatory. So I'll look into that. But
that is probably something we should know the answer to.
Yeah, I think though
we'll do our research.
Yeah, I think though that's definitely a show car.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no playful bits along the wing, the front wing. There's no playful bits along the floor or anything. I think that's definitely a show car.
I would have thought so.
But it's a nice livery. There's very few complaints about it. It's just McLaren. It's a McLaren.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not an ugly car by any stretch of the imagination. No. I just don't think there's been much imagination.
No. I would have much preferred for them to invert the colours, as you said.
Yeah.
Just try and step away from that papaya controversy of last season.
Yeah.
Just a touch.
Yeah, definitely.
The unveiling, I did watch it live, and there was a bit of energy about it. There was actually a little bit of energy about it, and it was quite good. Everyone looked quite excited. Oscar and Lando seemed very, very pleased with it, and looked quite excited to be getting back on track. So,
yeah,
it's going to be nice to see it on track, but I don't think it's the nicest car that was unveiled this week.
Nope, I don't think so. No. Go on then. Who's next?
Well, we can go with the one that was unveiled last week. That was unveiled after we'd recorded, but before we released.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Williams.
Yes.
I was a little bit disappointed.
Do you know what? I really like it. However, when you say about McLaren running out of room for sponsors, good grief. It looks like a teenager's Vauxhall Corsa after they just got a free pack of stickers from a Max Power magazine.
Yeah.
That is a lot of sponsors. A lot. And they're everywhere.
I'll tell you why I was disappointed.
Go on.
A couple of weeks ago, they tweeted out with a picture of the white Martini branded 2016 Williams.
Yes.
And said, we heard 2026 is the new 2016.
Yes.
And I was like, are we getting a white Williams? Are we getting a white Williams again? I was like, please tell me we're getting a white Williams again. And then this. And
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
From the nose, but ignore the wheels for a second. Totally different story there. Right. I like it from the nose, follow it up the nose above the side pods.
Yeah.
Just ignore the side pods. Follow it down the engine cover and the wing.
Yeah.
Looks very, very nice. I love the blue. The Duracell thing, I think, is just genius. I thought that's been genius for years. That's been absolute genius for years. I do not like those side pods. I do not like the way they've shoehorned the Barclays blue onto it. I don't like that at all. It ruins what could be a very, very beautiful looking car.
See, I'm the opposite. I quite like that. I just think it's I don't know. It's a nice little accent. I think it breaks it up a little bit, and I think it's clever they managed to get the sponsor's colour in without it being, the way obviously on the Ferrari you got that lovely red, and then all of a sudden you've got weird blues in it. At least with the Barclays, it's blue on blue. It's not too ridiculous.
See,
you know what I mean?
I would get behind that if there wasn't the silver behind the Komatsu.
Okay.
You know what it looks like, right? A little bit like when you were younger and you draw lines on a page, just random lines on a page, and then you just colour in the different shapes that it's made in different colours.
Aww.
That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it is a bit of a paint by numbers, I suppose.
It's a bit blocky. I think, and especially with you got the silver underneath the Komatsu sponsorship on the side pod, and then white underneath Komatsu on the wing. Pick one.
Yeah, all right, yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
That's my gripe with it. And then the wheels are the most horrendous thing.
Yeah, the wheels and mingers. Yeah.
When I saw the pictures, I was like, why do they look like roulette wheels? And then I zoomed in. They are roulette wheels. It is literally a casino sponsorship, and it is the roulette wheels. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not into the wheels. I think the wheels are horrible. One thing I would say is if this is anything like the actual shape of the Williams, those side pods are so different to anything else we've seen. Like, so unbelievably different. And one other thing, whilst we're on this is nothing to do with delivery, by the way.
Yeah.
But when James Fowles was interviewed, and obviously he was explaining why they missed Bahrain, the shakedown at Barcelona, and they will be going to Bahrain and all that. He said something a bit interesting in that interview, because he stated that whilst they didn't make it to the shakedown, they've basically had the car on a full race simulator. So he was effectively saying that they've had it on what is effectively a jig that's put the car under full race loads, which he reckons they've got amazing feedback from. They've, tested every single part of the car, with it being suspension under load, engine under load. And you think, is that actually more beneficial than just a shakedown around a track? Have they actually done something really clever there? Do you know what I mean? It's something that I haven't heard any other team talk about, and I think, maybe that is a bit more beneficial to hang back and do that, rather than send it round a track in Barcelona when you could be at the factory.
I suppose you're going to get the testing time anyway at pre-season.
Yeah.
It's just that you don't have much time to change anything. Just want to correct myself a little bit.
Go on.
Looking through a couple of different angles on this, it looks like that Komatsu colour is the same on the wing and the back, but from different angles and different lightings, it looks different.
It's a different shading.
Yeah, so just correcting myself on that. Still don't like the blockiness of it, but yeah. Sorry, it's just what I was thinking. I think that is intriguing. They've had to find other ways to stress test the car when they couldn't get it on track.
Yeah.
Coming back
from
to
the sounds of it.
Go on, sorry.
From the sounds of it, though, when they were doing the testing, it's almost as though they didn't go, we're not going to make it to the shakedown, we'll do the testing. It was almost though we're still doing testing, so we're not going to bother with the shakedown. They thought it was more important to do the in-factory testing than it was to go to the shakedown. From the way he worded it, that's the way he's put it.
I think he's probably being very clever with his wording.
Yeah,
because he didn't get signed off on the chassis in time to be able to put the car together to get to testing anyway, I think. So
yeah.
But yeah, coming back to delivery again, they've done the black halo trick.
Yes. Yeah.
which I like. I do kind of like that. I do think the action shots are going to look really good for a lot of the cars with that black halo.
Yeah, it does disguise it nicely.
Mm.
Those I can't get over the shape of those side pods if they are anything like the real car.
They look very long.
Squareness. Yeah, the squareness and the size of the inlets from the front view of that car. They are huge.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about the Aston Martin last week where it looked like it kind of aggressively swooped down after the intake. Yeah. These look like they go quite far back, straight, and then kind of taper down towards the tail. They look very long.
Like, awful lot of surface area on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is anything like their actual car.
Oh yeah. That's like the opposite of the Mercedes Zero pod. That's like 100% pod.
Like you got a character creator with a slider. Just
yeah. It's like you know when you're building your character on a game and you turn it to 100% fat. That's that.
Yeah. That's what I did, by the way, folks. Yeah, I think we're kind of apart on this one, aren't we? Like I think they nearly nailed it, but and you think they did. They got it right, but
I like it with the exception of the wheels. The wheel, nobody will like those wheels apart from the sponsor.
Yeah,
I don't like them at all.
I think like they've got like a little marker on the inside, right? And like when they come in for pit stops and they take it off, wherever the marker is on it, like the pit crew are just kind of going to be like, I've got £5 on number 7.
If they start celebrating, yeah.
Like pointing at it before they even take the wheel off. Like,
get
it off. Yeah.
No, I like the livery. Don't like the wheels.
I like the top of the livery. Definitely don't like the wheels. Anything below wheel height is the top of the wheel height is kind of like, with the exception of the nose, is.
Oh, it's okay that you're wrong. It's go on then. Let's stop bashing the livery. Who's next?
I'll give you the choice, but we could go Aston Martin or we can go Cadillac.
Oh, Cadillac, cheer me up.
Yeah, Cadillac. Now this thing is a beauty.
No arguments here.
Funnily enough, when we did what are our favourite liveries from years gone by, one side of this, and anyone who's seen it will understand why, one side of this reminds me of the 2001 to 2005 McLarens.
Yeah.
It really does. That white on black and black on white, depending on which side you're looking at this, is absolutely stunning.
There is actually no part of that car I don't like.
Yeah, including the wheels. I actually do like the wheels on this one.
The only thing they could have done to make that better was incorporate the color difference in the wheels, but it'd make it so bad in a pit stop.
Yeah, I think
just cheese off the mechanics. I think.
Yeah, I embarrassingly, it took me a while to understand this livery, because if you watch the reveal video, which we've got running in the corner, alongside some other pics, again we'll put the link in the description for the pictures. I was kind of like, what's all this about, like space launch stuff all on about? And then it was today, and I messaged you, didn't I, today? And I was like, I understand it. I'm flicking through the pictures on the official F1 site, and I'm understanding why there's this whole moon launch, like space launch kind of video going on. It is Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
And as you look at the images, and you go through the images, and you can see one that's kind of like it's pitch black at the top. It looks like the moon surface underneath with the light breaking through behind the front wheel. And that's on the dark. That picture's taken from the dark side of it with the light on the other side. And then if you look at the other side of it, it's the white side of the car, like the light side of the car.
Very, very clever.
Yeah.
Very clever.
And then it goes on to the halo. which is metallic to reflect that light off, like you're coming over the dark side of the moon and you're seeing the sun break over it.
Yeah, no, it is very cool.
Whoever did design this, give them a bonus.
Without a doubt. Yes. I mean, I was joking with you this morning when I saw the reveal video and they were going on, you had the speech from the president going on about, we're doing it not because it's easy, but because it's hard and all this. And I thought, why are you bringing the moon landing into this? And I thought, does that mean you're just going to turn up to F1 and then leave and not come back for another 60 years? Do you know what I mean? Is that why you're referring to the moon? What is it? Or maybe they're going to fake all the footage. I have no idea. But it was just
all
that
out
thing
to
of,
Tesla.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like, why are you bringing the moon into all this? It was like, what are you talking about? But when you actually see the meaning behind it, you're like, all right, that's kind of cool. Actually,
Yeah.
I like that. Do you know what I mean? And for the first time, they brought a car in as well. Good grief! I mean, you look at Audi in comparison. I mean, we've just gone grey with an orange stripe. I mean, that is a work of art, man.
Yeah,
that is lovely.
That is absolutely. And even if you look at the side-on images with the wing, you can even see it's like the surface, like the horizon of the moon.
Yeah.
On the dark side of it. It is beautiful. Now, admittedly, the first time I saw this was early hours in the morning because I was watching the Super Bowl. So when I saw the video, I was like, what's that all about? Because I was tired. That's my excuse. But yeah, after spending some time looking at it today, I was like, I've got it. I know what it is. There was some controversy surrounding the reveal video, which we'll come to in the news rumors portion.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting this work of art.
Yeah, I didn't know, to be honest. I certainly wasn't expecting anything like that. I thought it was going to be very American. I thought there might have been, big Union Jack. What am I on about?
Stars and stripes on the
Stars and stripes. If they put
bold,
a Union Jack
bold eagle on the air intake.
No, honestly, I did. I thought it'd be extremely American because every time we go to Texas or anywhere like that, it's always a special livery because they're in America, and so I just thought it's got to be Americanized, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, they've done a cracking job. They really have.
Tell you what I think is really clever on both sides of it, towards the rear of the engine cover. The Cadillac dashes that they've used to kind of like create a kind of a graphic breakup.
Oh yeah.
So on the white side, you got those black and kind of gradient grey dashes which are like very reminiscent of the Cadillac logo. And on the other side, they're white. It's a very clever graphical touch to kind of break up the blockiness of it. On that, on that rear canopy, I think it's really nice. I think it looks rapid standing still.
It does actually, yeah.
Who knows how it's going to turn out, but
I think that is actually probably my favourite livery this year.
Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
And that pains me because I do like my metallic Red Bull, but that is stunning. I think because it is so fresh and so different, it's just everyone else. All right, don't get me wrong. I know I like the Red Bull one because it's gone metallic and all that, but it's still the same livery. They've just gone to a shiny instead of a matte and
slightly different blue.
Yeah, everyone has gone very similar to what they've done in the past. Nothing's really been outlandish. But no, that is beautiful. Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
I think it's kind of brave going monochromatic.
Yeah,
I think it's very brave doing it, but stunning, absolutely stunning.
So tonight, then we were watching the Aston Martin reveal live. Although we say live, it started and then it stopped, and then it restarted.
We had an Aston Martin crash before the season even began.
Yeah, if the car's as reliable as their live feed, it's not going to be good. Do you know what really struck me though?
Go on.
Is just how nobody wanted to be there.
Oh,
I
there
mean,
was no energy.
Lawrence Stroll. Oh man, he looked so bored, and you would think if you owned an F1 team, Aston Martin of all teams, and you were revealing a brand new car, you'd have a little bit of enthusiasm in your voice.
Mm.
I mean, it was like, I don't know. I couldn't fathom it. It was like he knew he'd already lost the season before he
Uh,
announced the car.
do you know what I had going through my mind when he
What?
was doing his little opening monologue?
Yeah,
Eeyore.
that's exactly it.
It's not much of a car, but I'm kind of attached to it.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Like,
And
yeah.
when they brought the drivers on, I mean, Alonso's Alonso, isn't he? He's a
Mm.
man of few words, but at least he seemed enthusiastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, Stroll on the other hand, asking
Mm.
him asking him about what he's been doing in the winter. He's like, "Oh, you know, like relaxing and stuff." You're like,
Mm.
"Wow,
Yeah.
good grief! At
The,
least contain your excitement."
the whole thing. I mean, we were messaging whilst it was happening, like very
Yeah,
briefly, and I said to you, like, there's no energy.
no,
There was
there wasn't. No,
zero energy. There was nothing from the crowd that was in attendance. There was nothing from
yeah,
Lawrence Stroll. The very limited energy we saw, and we will get to delivery in a minute, we promise, folks. But
yeah,
the very limited energy we saw was from a clearly worn out Adrian Newey
yeah.
and Fernando Alonso, especially when he was asked about finally driving an Adrian Newey car.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And that was it. I mean, the whole thing just felt just so boring.
It did.
The unveil itself was beautiful with
Yeah.
the was it the cellist? Can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the piece being playing and then the car being unveiled. That was beautiful. But
Yeah.
when anyone was talking or when anyone was introduced, there was just nothing there.
Do you know what I would love to see? That fella that was playing the cello, I'd love to see him follow the team around for the season. And every time Stroll crashes, just start playing a tune at the side of the track by his crashed car. I think that'd be lush.
Yeah.
Not for them, but for us. I just think that'd be really
Yeah.
nice. I like that,
But
yeah.
enough of. I mean, it does feel like we kind of slate the Aston Martin thing, but that one, if you watched it, folks, I'm sorry, but you'd completely understand. Are the slated
Yeah.
Williams or the slated Mercedes? If it was anything like that, it was just so lifeless. But
Yeah.
moving on to the actual car,
The car is beautiful.
it is.
Yeah.
But that being said, you jokingly said, "Were we looking at last year's McLaren?"
Yeah. Oh, completely agree.
But again, it's a case of, well, last year's car was beautiful, so there's
Yeah. I
very
mean,
very small changes.
yeah, they've done what other teams have done. Instead of
Mm.
going matte to shiny, they've gone shiny to matte.
Mm.
Um, I do love that green color. They've incorporated a little bit more black, a couple more yellow accents. Yeah, it is very much a carbon copy of what Aston Martins have been before.
Yeah.
But ooh, I like it.
Yeah. But very slight changes to last year. So last year, if you remember,
Yeah.
the air intake was white.
Yes.
But it's now black, which I think suits it so much better. The wing last year was on the sides was completely black. But now it's got that kind of green to almost white gradient towards the bottom. Looks very, very nice. They've kind of spiced up the yellow stripe across the side pod, made it a bit thicker, bit of a kind of graphical thing to it. Like a digital camo style thing to it from the looks of it. It is a very, very beautiful car.
It is.
Again, it looks fast.
Yeah. Do you know when you actually saw it on the live reveal? Um, I was saying while we were watching it, it looked so short and stubby. The actual car.
Yes.
A lot of the other cars, they still look very big, even though I know this year they are slightly narrower, slightly shorter. I'm not sure whether it's the large side plates on the front wing or whether it's just a color thing, but the actual car looks very short. The whole thing looks very low down, actually. If you
Yeah.
look at the height of the side pods and everything, even the height of the rear wing is below the top roll hoop. Everything looks very short and stout.
Yeah. I
It
am
it looks nice.
looking at the shape of it though. That is dramatically different to what was on track the other day.
Oh yes.
So
Well,
I think we are looking at another showpiece here.
yeah. Well, on the reveal itself, they had this car on the stage, and then the image came up behind of the car exiting the garage at the shakedown in Barcelona. It was nothing like it.
No.
And then Adrian Newey did clarify and said the one that you showed at the shakedown will be nothing like what you see at testing in Bahrain, and it'll be nothing like what you see at Melbourne at the first race. And you think, what?
Yeah.
How many different variations have you made of this thing? And they said, and that'll be nothing compared to the car you see at Abu Dhabi at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And you do just think, good grief, how much are you altering this car already before
Yeah.
the season even starts?
Yeah. I did think it was funny. He was like, yeah, he goes, I did say to Lawrence when the one at Barcelona kind of left the pit, like how good it looked in black.
Yeah.
He goes, but it was only black because we didn't have time to paint it.
Yeah.
Fair play. And it did look mean.
Yeah.
It looked like the Batmobile, like you said last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, we weren't expecting anything other than British Racing Green, were we, for this?
No, of course not. No.
With that same yellow, neon yellow and green.
Yes.
Highlight pinstripes and stuff. I don't like the wheels. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
If they were just plain black, like obviously you've got to get the advertising on there. It's more space for advertising and stuff. But
of course,
but I think that's the only thing that ruins it for me is just having all that writing around it. It looks clunky. It's a very minor thing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't mind them. I'm not a fan of them. Certainly better than a roulette wheel. But
what I do think is funny, if you go to the side on view and then you look at all the sponsors that are right underneath the side pod.
I know, yeah. They played the least.
Yeah, yes. they've definitely paid the least there. You might see it if the car's upside down.
Well, that's for sure.
There's a good chance.
So, yeah.
They're going to get some sort of strike. Aston Martin are going to reach out to him like, can you please stop? He's already crying.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's... I was getting so distracted watching the reveal because whenever Lance Stroll was talking, he reminds me of the dad from American Pie with the giant eyebrows like this. And I was just like, can somebody trim his eyebrows? They're so distracting. I can't listen to what he's saying.
It's
but
a
anyway,
perfectly natural part of life.
What?
That's what it is. His dad saying all the time, isn't it? I'm just looking at the front on view of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a trick of the camera and angle and all that. Body looks so narrow.
It does look very narrow, yes. But like we said though, this body we already know is nothing like what the actual car is going to be.
Oh yeah.
Because the one at Barcelona at the shakedown, it looked almost like a zero pod. But because it was all black, it was very hard to tell as well.
Yeah. And a very, very beautiful car.
Very tasty, like that.
So it's been a good week for it. I mean, obviously we disagree on the old Williams one. That's a part of life.
Oh yeah. The one thing we did say before was I like the little Union Jack that's under the green on the front of the nose.
Yes, that's a stunning touch. That just behind the Aston Martin badge. Yeah. That's a very, very nice touch. I am sure. I'm just literally looking over at the recording of the podcast, and it's in the corner.
Yeah.
As I'm saying that, it's zooming in on the nose on the video that I put together. So yeah, it's nice. It's very, very nice.
I like that.
It's been a. I mean, obviously we disagree on the Williams one, but it's been a very, very good week for the livery reveals. I think. Some nice looking cars. Some very nice looking cars.
Yeah, none of them are mingers.
No.
But yeah, no, it's been a good week for that. But whilst we're going to be moving on to our news segment, but we're still just finishing the reveals. What was the news around the Cadillac reveal then?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, for those who don't know, apparently Michael Bay was asked basically to give his input for the reveal video. So basically was hired to do that. From what I understand, there was a freelance director who was directing the video. So Michael Bay wasn't hired to be the director, but he was hired on for ideas. The freelance director then basically said to Michael Bay, yeah, we're going to go in a different direction. We're not going to do any of this. Thank you very much. You're not needed. And then allegedly proceeded to use some of the ideas that Michael Bay had given for the final reveal video. Yeah. With Michael Bay having not received compensation for his input. So he has apparently or will be filing a lawsuit for $1.5 million against Cadillac. I did see an article earlier that stated that the chairman or somebody high up at Cadillac had said they regretted the way that it had played out, and in future they'd wish to work with him directly rather than through an intermediary. So it sounds like there's some element of truth to it. But you don't know until when it comes out of the wash, do you?
No, of course not. No.
I mean, I hear Michael Bay's involved, and I was expecting, like a Transformers style thing.
Yeah.
Autobots.
Optimus Prime livery.
My name is Optimus Prime. Roll out. Just exactly. Transforms into the Cadillac and just rolls out the pits.
That would have been well cool.
That would have been so good. I was just disappointed myself there. But yeah,
you're making me not like it now. It's rubbish. It's no, I like that.
No, that was the the thingy kind of new side of it. But
so then, go on.
No, go on. No.
So obviously we are running into testing this week.
Yes.
At Bahrain. Now, we've all been extremely excited about testing because we've waited so long to see the cars on track. We saw the occasional little glimpse at the shakedown in Barcelona, and it only makes it even more exciting hearing the cars, even if you only saw them leave the garage and maybe a crashed one through a bush, you got to see a little picture, it still makes us excited. So going into testing this week, we've been, can't wait to see the cars on track. It turns out we're only actually going to get to see the last hour of the day of testing.
Yeah.
So they are on track from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. 7.
I think you said 7 before.
7.
So they're on track for like 9 hours.
Yeah, we're only allowed to see from 3 until 4. So the rest of it is behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Which I don't see the benefit of. Because we're still going to hear, because at that 3 to 4 slot, whilst you may have cars going around the track, if the presenters or the film crews have been there all day, even if they're not allowed to film, you will still get snippets of, oh, by the way, this car went off, that car went off, this car broke down, there was a bit of a red flag. So, and all the track times are live through the entire day on the F1 website.
Yeah.
So you're still getting all the data. So why can't we see the images that go along with it?
Yeah.
Why make us wait that long?
I don't understand that at all. I didn't know this
No.
until literally we got on call prior to to recording this evening. I've been kind of locked away doing videos for tonight. Anyway,
yeah,
I don't get it. It's pre-season testing. What is it that's so secret about it this time around? You've had your shakedown in Barcelona that no film crews were allowed at. You know people are eager to see the cars. The film crews are going to be there. You don't even need presenters. You just need the cameras flicking between the different cars as they're on track, and F1 fans are going to love it and lap it up.
Oh yeah.
Because presenters are there to give context. We don't really need context because it's pre-season. You don't really take everything for granted. Oh, that car's really fast. Yeah, the other cars might have been running low fuel, low rev mode or whatever, so it doesn't really matter. They're all testing different things. So I don't get why it's okay to watch the last hour.
No.
I mean, are we going to get, my guess is we'll get like hey, here's a highlights of day one testing where they're going to show us stuff anyway.
Maybe.
So why not just put it all live?
Well, yeah, I think more to the point, the main people who are going to be watching the cars on track are actually going to be the other teams spying on the competitors going, oh, have you seen those air inlets? Have you seen the way they're using the front wing? Have you seen the way they're, braking later into the corners than you are and things like that? And I think all of the competitors of the teams are there. They're watching it all. So what's it matter if the public watch it? What I don't understand.
No.
I really don't. It just seems, I don't know. I mean, this is the first part of testing. They said they haven't confirmed how much of the second week of testing we're going to see. So whether or not they do something similar there, I don't know. But this is why we're now getting memes online saying the first race of the season is going to be behind closed doors.
Yeah.
It's because every time we think we're only a week away from getting to see the cars on track, they're moving the goalposts. Yeah. And that's where it's getting frustrating, is it's not like this has always been planned. They've just all of a sudden decided to do this when we've all been getting really excited about it. And it's not fair, really. We want to see it. We do want to see it.
Yeah. Like we're just, I think I'd say we were just eager, isn't it? It's been the shortest off season.
Yeah.
But it still feels like forever since we've seen cars really on track.
Yeah, the off season's far too long. Yeah. Yeah, make a 30 race season. That'll do. Keep us going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think the drivers would be too happy about that, mind you.
No, I mean, the way it's going, it could get there. And we were only at 19 races,
Oh, yeah.
What, 10 years ago, whatever it was. The other news this week is kind of big, though. The major point of discussion this week, and it comes down to something we've talked about a few times over the last few weeks, and the Mercedes engine.
Yes, the good old compression ratio argument.
Yes. So the rule states that ambient room testing compression rate will be, or the compression rate's got to be 16:1. The testing will be done at ambient room temperature. That's the rule. F1, possibly Mercedes, possibly Red Bull.
Yeah.
Have both found tricks with heating, and as the engine heats up to get the compression ratio to 18:1. The other teams don't like this. They've been up in arms to the FIA. There's already been a couple of meetings about it with no actual resolution, but the latest news is that the FIA are considering changing the testing parameters for Australia.
Yes.
Literally race one, by the way. We're going to be testing it this way at race one, possibly at higher temps.
Yeah.
which has understandably annoyed Toto. And Mercedes. Now, there's a few different things for this story. You've heard one, I've heard another. We were talking about this the other day. So I heard that the Mercedes engineer who left Mercedes and went to Red Bull, told Red Bull about this compression trick. Red Bull were like, "Oh, awesome! Let's give it a go." Haven't figured it out, and we're like, "Well, okay, we've not figured it out." And then gone to all the other teams, going, "Hey, have you heard about Mercedes?"
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that a bit naughty?
Yeah, there's a few different versions. So just to clarify, with the compression ratio change, from what we've seen, the way they're getting around this is that they're using technology that they've never been able to really implement before. It is something that's still very new in manufacturing, and they've made 3D printed pistons, right? Normally, pistons are made out of a solid billet. They'll be machined, heat treated, remachined, and finished. And they are a solid block, effectively, of whatever material they're using. Whereas now they've 3D printed them with built-in oil galleries inside the piston, in which, because they are thinner and they have effectively pockets in them, as they heat, they expand. That gives you the 18:1 compression ratio rather than the 16:1. So at standard room temperature, you'll get 16:1. As they heat at full chat on the track, you get a compression ratio closer to 18:1.
Yeah.
Now, like that story you were saying, the half the people say, "Oh, Red Bull heard about it, they failed, so they decided to tattle to the teacher." The other half is going, "Well, actually, at the moment, Red Bull haven't joined in the dispute, because officially on paper from the FIA they haven't, but they're saying if needed, Red Bull have said they would jump in to change the rule." So you kind of like, have they achieved it? Haven't they? Well, I'm not sure. And the other side of that is, I suppose, when I've seen it from some of the Mercedes side, if you like, they've said with one breath, it's Mercedes have been extremely transparent. They've told the FIA all this from the beginning. The FIA have said it's fine. They're now moaning because all the teams are moaning. Whereas then they say, "Oh, well, actually, Red Bull leaked it." So were you actually fully transparent, or did Red Bull leak it? So now you've had to show them. Which way is it?
From what I understand, it's both. They weren't transparent with the other teams. They were transparent with the FIA. So they weren't saying to the other teams, "This is what we're doing." They were back and forth with the FIA going, "This is our development. Are we breaking any rules?" Blah blah blah. And the FIA going, "Well, no, it's testing at 16:1 at room temperature. You're fine."
Yeah.
They didn't need to think of that to anybody else. But then the Mercedes engineer has gone to Red Bull, leaked it to them.
Okay.
And the thing with Red Bull, like, I think they're being very smart.
Yeah.
If what I think they're doing is what they're doing, I think they're being very smart. So to change the rules, you need the FIA and the FOM.
Yeah.
And 4 of the 5 engine manufacturers. So even if Ferrari, Red Bull, and Honda, who's the other? You got Mercedes, Honda,
Audi.
Audi, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. Even if 4 of them go, "We want to change the rules," the FIA or the FOM could go, "There's no need to. You all have the same rule book.
Yeah.
Go cry," basically. Or they could go, "Well, actually, yeah, we agree." Right. Now, I think this is me tinfoil hat on, my conspiracy theory on this. Red Bull have tried and might be getting close.
Right.
But they don't know if they'll get there.
Right. Okay.
So they leak it.
Yeah.
To the other teams, cause the uproar. If they don't manage to nail it before Australia, if they don't manage to nail it by the time a vote's called for on a rule change, they say, "Yeah, we'd like the rules changed." If they do manage to nail it before the vote's called, they go, "No, we're all right, thanks." And Mercedes go, "No, we're all right, thanks." And you've only got 3 plus the FIA plus the FOM, possibly. I mean, the FIA could say, "Well, no, you had the rules." They're not bound to do it. But I think if with my tinfoil hat on, if that is the way Red Bull are playing it, it's being very, very clever.
I understand that. Yeah,
because they could nail it the next week or two and go, "Yeah, we're fine. We don't need the rules changing at all."
Yeah. I mean, the other side of that is, I suppose, you could look at that and go, actually, have Red Bull nailed it? But because they already had an engine running at 16-1, is it a simple case of if they make the rule change, we just swap back the pistons we were using originally and we're still fine? If that is the only thing they're changing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other side of that is, a lot of what we're seeing online is everyone saying the rule states 16-1 compression ratio when tested at room temperature. That is not what the rule states.
No.
So if you look up the actual guidelines, so went full nerd deep today. It took me ages to find the damn thing in the FIA regulations. It states no cylinder of the engine may have a geometric compression ratio higher than 16-1. That is it. That is the rule. It does not state at room temperature. It states nothing above 16-1. It then states we will test this at room temperature. That's a completely separate document entirely. The actual rule is nothing above 16-1. So it's not a case of has to be 16-1 at room temperature. That is not the rule. It's no cylinder above 16-1.
Yeah. I've read the rule, but then my question with it is, why stipulate that the testing will be done at ambient room temperature?
Yeah, well, that's because they never tested the compression ratio when it's hot.
You could literally stipulate that testing can be done at any.
Yeah.
So basically, what they've done in writing that testing will be done at ambient room temperature is they've left a loophole in there. Because actually, if there is nothing in the regulations that states that testing can be done when it runs hotter,
yeah,
right, then as long as it is 16-1 at the testing point, it cannot be proven otherwise that it isn't.
Yeah,
within the rules and regulations. So they've just left themselves wide open. So what we were saying the other week, wasn't it? It's like at all times, the compression rate must be 16-1, or no more than 16-1.
No, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I get that. But saying that something's going to be tested at a certain temperature doesn't negate the fact that the only thing it says is no cylinder must be over 16-1.
But then if
it's not,
I completely get
room temperature. Do you know what I mean?
I completely get that. Right, completely get it. Right. Again, it comes down to the writing of the rules and regs. That's all it comes down to.
Of course, yeah.
Because they're all looking for the loopholes. They're all looking for ways to kind of jump through the thingies.
Oh, yeah.
But then, if the regs say that, and then Mercedes, if they're to be believed, have been as transparent, and in fact, the article here, like FIA single-seater director Nicholas Tombassis has officially confirmed that at least one F1 team has succeeded with a power unit trick.
Yeah.
Right? At least one. So they know Mercedes engine can do that. FIA can confirm that they know Mercedes. They haven't quite said it's Mercedes, but they know that one of the competitors. So the only way they could know that is if that competitor has been going back and forth with them going, by the way, when you test this at room temperature, it's 16-1. But we've got it up to 18-1 when it's operating. Are we breaking anything here? Are we do? And FIA haven't gone, yes, you are. Sort it out. the FIA have gone, well, no, the rules state that we're going to test it at ambient room temperature. So,
Oh no, I completely understand that. And the thing is, it's that whole thing, isn't it? Like we've said, it's innovation, and we love to see the innovation of it.
yeah.
Same with like the DAS system when that came out. It was something like nothing we've ever seen. It was incredible to watch, and whoever came up with it, genius. And
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. Whoever comes up with the idea sat in a boardroom going, I've thought about making these pistons, right, that expand. And you're just like, are you mental? Are you absolutely mental? Are you sure about this? It's clever as hell. And I don't want to see it banned because it is a great piece of innovation, regardless of which teams have it and don't have it. It is a
Yeah.
cracking piece of innovation. I think the issue is it's one of those things. It depends which way you read it. Depends on how you're going to do it. I think for me, when you read a rule like that that states nothing over 16-1, that's clean cut as hell. The fact that they've said they're only going to test it at room temperature, that doesn't matter. That'd be like me. No, hold on. That
No,
would be like
I'm
me
listening.
saying it'd be like me saying to a police officer, "Can you breathalyze me before I go for a bevy in the pub? Because if you do, when I come out, I'm not going to be legal to drive home."
But,
It's
yeah.
you are breaking the rule that is set, but you won't be tested for it, so it doesn't matter. That's like saying you can go into the Olympics and dope because we're not going to test you. Do you know what I mean? It's exactly what it is. You're saying, well, I'm playing by the rules, but when I'm in the changing room, I'm going to dope my face off and go for a run. If you're not going to be tested, it's wrong.
I completely, and I don't even know if I disagree. Right, this is what I'm saying. I don't even know if I'm disagreeing. What I'm kind of saying on it is, what was the point of stipulating when the testing would be done in the ruling, in the regulations?
Because they
Because,
stipulate everything.
but if they've stipulated, right? It's the wording thing again. We said this the other week.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you say, right, at no point can the compression ratio be above 16-1. At no point during the engine's operation can the compression rate be above 16-1.
Yeah.
That covers it.
Oh, of course it does, yeah.
Because you've just, at no point during its operation. To say, but then to say, they can't be above 16-1.
Yeah.
They're only going to be measured at room temp. Like metal doesn't like kind of expand and change form when it's heated. Like, come on.
Of course.
But again, it's like you said last week. Like, people who write the rules haven't got a clue about engineering. They haven't got a clue about mechanical operation. But there was two ways to change it to make sure there was no loophole. There was no way to get away with any of it. One is,
of course,
change it so at no point during the engine operation, or the engine can be the engine can be tested at any given temperature.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there is no wiggle room. There is no loophole.
Oh, yeah.
There is no thing. So by the rules, by one part of the rule, it looks like they're breaking the rule.
Yeah.
By another part of the rule, they have passed the regulation.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So the FIA have allowed that ambiguity in there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I completely agree.
And now you've got the other teams going, oh, this is how you should test it. By the way, you should do this test. And you know what it kind of reminds me of? Remember Mercedes and Red Bull went to the FIA and went, hey, why don't you test their wings like this? And Mercedes went, yeah, we'll allow it. And you got that clip of Lewis going, well, it's not a proper FIA test. Why are we letting them do it?
Yeah.
If Red Bull come up with this test, of course they're going to come up with a test that's going to try and catch us out. Why are we letting them do it?
Yeah, of course.
I kind of get that kind of vibe from it. It's like the other teams are going, oh, we should change the test, right? Because it's going to catch them out.
I think the thing is, I mean, reading into it, part of it was that fella you actually just mentioned. Where was his name?
Nicholas Tombazis.
That's the one. I'm glad you pronounced it because I was looking at that before, going, "Who has a name?"
By the
like
way,
that?
he's the FIA single seat director. By the way, if anybody.
Yes. Reading into it, the way he's put this is normally they do run around 18-1 in the original regulations, like last year and the year before and previous years. But it was agreed upon and changed for this year specifically for this new regulation. And it was to encourage new engine builders to come into the sport. And that's why they reckon that's why we've seen a lot more come in, like the way Ford have come in, Audi have come in, Honda have returned and things like that. And they've said it's purely down to the fact that if you want to come into F1 and suddenly develop an engine, you are talking, so, especially with a cost cap, millions upon millions and millions and millions to get to the same stage, even to be even to remotely compete with other cars that are on the same track as you. So they said, for this year, we're going to change it to 16-1. It's easier for newcomers to achieve. They don't have to worry about the cost cap so much. You can't sort of go, it stops one team from running away with it, especially when you've got newcomers and you sort of think, well, if that's been the reason for it as well, and they've sort of gone, this is why we're doing it, everyone. It's 16-1 from next year. We're trying to encourage new developers to come in. You sort of think, I can understand that mentality of wanting to do it. And you sort of think if all the teams were made aware of it for that purpose, I just think that's really sly. It's a cracking bit of innovation, but it's kind of like, you've done this for newcomers. Well, we've got loads of money. We're going to have you off. Do you know what I mean? It's harsh, that.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but like, you don't need the money to get the idea. You just need one very clever engineer.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
You might need a bit more money to kind of bring it to actual fruition and go through the testing and the R&D, but any one of the engineers at any one of the teams could have gone, oh, by the way. But it just so happens to be at Mercedes. And I think what's interesting about this, because we're going back and forth over this, and like I said, on one part of it, they seem to be breaking it. On the other part, they're complying. It's very thingy.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, both of us agree neither of us want to see it banned.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's
it's because we're stopping. We are stopping that innovation in sport. As much as really at the bottom of my heart, I think it's kind of wrong. It's not wrong. The rules aren't. The rules are not rigid enough around that. So it is a pure out and out loophole. So it can't be banned as far as I'm concerned. But I do think it's a little bit harsh.
Yeah, I think if anything, if they do want to get rid of it, if they do want to kind of rein it in, they need to do what they did with DAS.
Right.
So DAS was legal for 2020. It was introduced in pre-season testing in 2020. There was nothing that said it was illegal. Like everyone was like, "Oh, surely it can't," because then no. As long as it wasn't operated under racing conditions, it was completely legal. Or whatever. So they basically made it illegal for 2021. Yeah. This late in the game, if they're not happy with it, they just need to rewrite the regs for 2027, I think, and say, no, from 2027, no point can that compression be above 16-1.
Yeah.
You've got away with it this year. If you run away with it, you run away with it. That's fine, but we're reining you in. But interestingly enough, and this could get very, very nasty.
Yes.
Because if you look at the quote, and the reason I'm going to read this out now is because of something else that I heard in the rumblings as well. As these engineers are very clever and always, this is Nicholas Tombazis again. As these engineers are very clever and always pushing for advantage, some have found ways to potentially increase it when the engine's running hot, and that's the discussion we're having now. We spend a lot of time discussing how we solve those issues. Our intention is to solve them before we start the season. We don't want controversies We want people to be competing on the track, not in the courtroom or the steward's room. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And the reason he said not in the courtroom is because, if it's to be believed, Mercedes have every intention of fighting this if they attempt to change the rules. And we were chatting about it briefly the other day. Now, I think if they try to change the rules, Mercedes will go to the Court of Sports Arbitration and try to get an injunction on the rule change.
Yeah.
To stop it from happening whilst it's then fought in the courtrooms. Which could potentially get nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be a bit of a horrible, messy start to the 2026 season. It'd give us loads to talk about in the podcast, I think. But
oh yeah,
it'd be a very nasty start to the season, I think.
I think the problem is we've seen things like this before in motorsport, but I think putting it down to just how the regulations are saying, oh, well, it's only tested like this, that's where it's dangerous. That's the main issue with it. Because, say, for instance, I was trying to figure out, I just had to Google it while I was doing it because I couldn't remember when it was. But it was the Toyota Celica GT4. So this was, 1995 in rally. And that was when they put in a new restriction on airflow. So it was like a maximum body, 34 millimeter opening. And this would be tested when they were at standstill in the pits. And then all of a sudden, the Toyota was unbelievably fast. And it turns out when the engine was under pressure, it would open up further. You would have a bigger opening, more pressure to the turbo. And it was just like a rocket ship. And you go, yeah, but in the rule book, it says you're only testing it in the pit lane. And it was legal in the pit lane. They got completely disqualified from the championship for the entire year. Do you know what I mean? And you think that one thing saying, but you're only testing it in the pits. Yeah, maybe so. But it's outside the regulation. And we've seen this happen before. That's the problem with it, isn't it?
But I completely get that. I think the issue is if Mercedes have been as transparent as they say they have been with the FIA, and the FIA have seen no problem with it, and the FIA are the ruling body,
completely,
Mercedes would have an argument in court. Because they'd be like, hang on, we were talking with the ruling body, and the ruling body's only changed their mind because a couple of other people are upset.
Yes.
So you're like, well, why weren't the ruling body upset with you beforehand? Because they must have deemed it legal.
Yeah.
So if you go into a court on the FAA, like, well, yeah, we kind of did deem it legal, but then we had a chat and we were like, oh, maybe not. Right.
I mean, I think we need to look at this in perspective, really, don't we? They reckon it's a gain of around 30 horsepower. In which, don't get me wrong, if you're on a Ford Fiesta, 30 horsepower is a lot. But when you're up to nearly 1,000 horsepower, 30 is not really going to make much of a difference. You're going to notice that getting out the corners. You're not going to notice it on top speed. You won't notice it there. But it's how much, with the cars having so much less downforce this year and so much less suction to the floor, I wonder, having more power, are you even going to be able to get that down to the ground quickly enough for it to make that much of a difference? I'm not sure.
There was talk that it's as much as 0.3 of a second per lap. Possibly.
I don't know.
To me sounds like an awful lot for what is effectively 3% extra power.
If it is 0.3 of a second per lap, all the other teams may as well go home. In all seriousness,
anyone not running a Mercedes engine,
anyone not running a Mercedes engine, if it's 0.3 a second per lap, may as well go home, because that would, if they allow that and it is that kind of a lead, it's pointless anyone else turning up.
In
all seriousness,
it's gonna be interesting to see how this climbs, because we are where are we now? 3.5 weeks away from the opening race.
Yeah.
Well, 4 weeks actually. Yeah, 4 weeks. 4 weeks away from the opening race.
Yeah.
Nearly thereabouts. They've got to come up with an answer. They've got to come up with a solution very quick. One that Mercedes would, if it didn't go Mercedes' way, that Mercedes would be able to respond to. But I think their response initially would be just to go straight to the court of arbitration.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you could potentially see them running that engine for 4 months into the season before we get a resolution.
Yeah.
And then whichever way that goes. But also they got to give the other teams enough time to try and respond if it doesn't go their way.
Of course. Yeah.
My guess is they're already at work trying to make it work.
I'm sure they will be.
And like I say, we'll see when it comes down to like when they do call a vote. We'll know exactly where Red Bull are.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because if Red Bull don't vote in favour of a rule change, then I think that's a pretty big signal that them and Ford have figured it out.
Yes.
Which would then leave the likes of Ferrari and Audi. And that just, and Honda scrambling.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
To catch up. Because then you're looking at what Red Bull, Racing Bulls, McLaren, Mercedes, Alpine, Williams.
Yeah.
All with that extra bit of oomph.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's great that we've got this to talk about, and there's a bit of a kind of excitement and mystery about what's going on, but I just don't want the start of the season to become a messy courtroom drama.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, it's like when we saw the drama in years gone by, and it was, one of the teams that broke the cost cap. Who could it be? It's like playing Where's Wally? And you know what? I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Don't get me wrong. The team should stay within their cost cap. And I completely agree with that. It's there for a reason. It stops any team just spending endless money and getting a ridiculous car. That's fine. But it's all we heard about. And it's not why I watch F1. If teams have broken the cost cap, they should be, fined for it or whatever. Fine. But I only need to hear about it once per weekend. Not every time I watch practice, qualifying, the pre-race, the after race, they're talking about it while the drivers are on track. Come on. I don't want this to be the never-ending drama of 2026 season. I'm so excited for the season. I don't want it to be an endless stream of Mercedes this, Red Bull said that, Ferrari said this. I really can't be bothered with it.
Yeah.
I just want to see the racing.
Do you know what frustrated me about the cost cap stuff?
Go on.
It was like, what have they spent the extra money on? Like, is it the catering? Have they bought extra shrimp? I don't care about. I don't think the cost cap should include catering, and that it should be. This is your allowance to develop the car, right?
Yes.
This is your allowance to develop the car. That is it, right?
Yeah.
If you want to spend extra on nicer butties for your team, doesn't matter. Let they're on the road all the time. That's fine. Give them quality food. That should not be brought into the cost cap. It should be, what did you spend on that? That was what was frustrating me. It's like, what you overspent on catering.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh my word! Yeah, you might get fined and lose championship points because you bought extra butties or an extra case of champagne.
Yeah,
that's not racing. It's not. Cost cap should be towards the car. That's it. I mean, that's just going off on a tangent there. But yeah, it's the same kind of things. Like it's taking away from the spectacle of the racing and the cars being on track and the drivers.
Yeah, it's the same like what we've said about giving you all the gossip on partners and things like that. I really don't care. I really don't care. I mean, it's the same as we've discovered this week that Hamilton's going out with Kim Kardashian. I really couldn't care less. If they both want to ruin each other's life, bring it on. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what happens in all of their relationships. Just crack on, but can you just do it in your own time? I really don't care.
Oh no!
I just want the
this.
cars on track.
Yeah. They did think that was funny, like the statements of denying anything was true, and then appearing at the Super Bowl together. Like,
that was good.
That was
good.
Fantastically AI generated video of them at the Super Bowl.
Do you know the one person who isn't an F1 driver but is related to, who I would love to see more of, is Piastri's mum.
Yeah.
She's so down to earth and so funny. And the stories she tells and the way she tells them, that's honestly, they need to give her own segment.
Yeah.
She's absolutely fantastic.
I remember that she's telling the story about getting the call from Oscar saying he'd signed for McLaren.
Yes.
And she was like, I was so excited, but then it hit me. She was like, what about Daniel? So his son's just signed the biggest contract of his life with a potential championship winning car. And if Ford is for the other Australian driver, Daniel Ricciardo,
that's it. Yeah.
But what about Daniel? What? That's like so cute. It was like so lovable. It was like really good.
Yeah, she's just so down to earth.
Such a character.
You can tell where Oscar gets it from, can't you?
Yeah.
Just very it doesn't matter. It's fine. Just normal.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of her, but.
Speaking
partners and all that, I'm just not interested. Go on.
Speaking of the Piastris, just something that struck me from what Oscar Piastri said today in the McLaren reveal, which got me thinking. Right,
go on.
He was asked basically, "Are you going to be a lot busier in the cockpit as drivers this year with all of the new, boost and overtake and recharge, all of many buttons?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're going to be." It's going to be a lot more different to drive. There's going to be a lot that we drivers are going to be doing in the cockpit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, because we've already said about how these new cars being a bit snappier, having less drag and less downforce. It's going to take a lot of driver ability to kind of keep them going and keep them under it. But then add on to that how much busier they're going to be on the wheel.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking that, yes, we're going to see actual driver ability come to the fore a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But we're also going to see which drivers have that extra overhead mentally.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And I was thinking about this in terms of graphics cards. Now, bear with me a second. Right.
Where are you going with this?
Right.
Go on.
Graphics cards have VRAM, don't they? So you have some that have your lower tier graphics cards that have 8 gig of VRAM. They're good at what they do. They're good at what they do, but they hit the limit quite quick in terms of the VRAM and what they can process and what they can keep up with. And then you got your mid tier that have 12 to 16 gig of VRAM, and they can process a bit more and kind of they've got a bit more overhead. And then you've got your elite tier of graphics cards, which are 32 gig, and you never really hit the overhead of the VRAM on them. They've got a lot of overhead on the capacity. And the weirdest thing about this is if you go through the field, in my mind, there's only a couple of drivers that are at that elite level 32 gig of VRAM, if you would. They never really hit their overhead of what they can handle when they're behind the wheel. They've always got that extra mental capacity. So Max is a fantastic example of that. He's driving around going, oh, yeah, I've just seen that thing on the... Dude, you're doing 220 mile an hour, concentrate.
Yeah.
But he's still taking everything in. Everybody's movements. Oh, that guy flicked off there. Oh, I think him and my mirrors just went out.
Yes.
Oh, did I just hear somebody Did I hear somebody pitting behind you on the pit wall?
Yeah.
He's taking all this. Leclerc, was it?
Yeah, had Helmut Marko's phone going off in the background
Yeah,
on the radio.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's always picking up all this extra. He's never at his mental capacity behind the wheel. Never.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like. He's like that elite level, like thingy. There's a few drivers I think that are like that. Him, Lewis, Oscar. I think George has that capacity.
Alonso
definitely has that mental capacity.
Yeah.
And then you've got your kind of middle of the range or people you like. So I think Ollie Behrman potentially has. But
did you say George?
I think George has that overhead.
No.
I think he does.
No.
Not quite to the extent. I might put him at like a 16 gigabyte VRAM card.
No.
But he's definitely not in the 8 gigabyte thingy. He might be a little bit higher. But I think he's able to process a lot more than just what's going on in the car. But the reason it got me thinking, and I know it's a very convoluted way of explaining it all, and like different tiers of graphics cards and different tiers of drivers. But I think there are different tiers of drivers in that mental capacity overhead.
Oh, without a doubt.
And not only will we see the drivers who are better, more talented at actually driving the car.
Yes.
Couple that with those who are talented at driving the car and have that mental overhead spare. There could actually be a massive gap between who's the lowest performer and who's the highest performer.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Very convoluted way of getting there, and I do apologise, everyone.
That was a long road to nowhere, but I followed it. Yeah, I think we already know that this year is going to be a lot more down to the driver rather than the car. I would have thought in terms of being able to handle the car.
Yeah.
One thing that did worry me tonight, I am coming back to your points, but one thing that did worry me tonight was at the Aston Martin reveal when they were talking to Adrian Newey, and they said obviously they've made a lot of changes to the car for the 2026 regulations to make it better for cars following each other, for overtaking and more action. But they also said that about 2022, and Adrian Newey said, yeah, I think it's going to be more of the same, to be honest. And I thought, oh no. I thought, that is not what I wanted to hear.
Funnily enough, Ocon said the same.
Go on.
Apparently, Ocon said the same.
Yeah. And I thought, oh man, you're the last person I wanted to hear that from. Because the entire point of this regulation change is to make it so that they can follow closely and they can overtake more and things like that. And if the king dingling of aerodynamics is saying, yeah, I think it's about the same, I just think, oh no. It's just, yeah. But no, this year, coming back to brain capacity, if you like, of drivers, there are definitely some that you just think, yeah, they're just going to be stabbing at the buttons like a kitten and a ball of string on the TV. But others will very quickly get a handle on, the active area will give me a slight edge through here, the boost mode coming out of corners maybe, or a little bit of an extra boost because I know I can brake later and do a switchback. And there are some drivers that can pull off moves that shouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
Or that you think, you're really risking it there, but they can pull it off and with style.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But there are some that will crash and burn very quickly with this new era. But the problem is, I just want to see a car on track. I'm so sick of hearing, we think, if the Mercedes is 0.3 quicker per lap or whatever, or why was the Ferrari quick around in the shakedown then? Well, it's all ifs, buts, and coconuts. And to a degree, even the proper testing will be that. We will see a bit more, people trying to push the cars a little bit more for maybe, we're going to try a bit of qualifying, a bit of race pace, a bit of whatever.
Yeah.
we'll see a bit more and we can judge a bit more. But until we get to that first race in Australia, who knows? Who knows? And the other side of that is it's the same coming back to this regulation thing with Mercedes. As much as they may have managed to get 18-1 and it changes and all this, what's the reliability like on that? Not necessarily the compression, but how well do 3D printed pistons last? I know they've done testing in a lab, but when they're actually under stress at a track and they're going through heat cycles through qualifying and testing, and you know what I mean, they could have made an amazingly fast engine. It could be very unreliable.
Yeah.
It could, there's so many ifs and buts. I don't want to make too many assumptions before the season starts.
Yeah.
And that's hard because,
I mean, it's hard when we're trying to do a podcast on it all as well, isn't it? We're discussing it all, and it's just difficult because, like you say, we just want to see them on track and then get not just assumptions, but actual reliable data.
Well, a lot of it's not just assumptions, though. A lot of it is from bits that we've seen. It's bits from what team principals have said, aerodynamicists, and then it's even what the drivers have said. So it's not just we're having a bit of a think, but there's too many snippets that we've heard. It's like when you see loads of trailers for what is going to be what looks like a brilliant film. I just hope that when I see the film, it's not utterly rubbish and all the good bits were in the trailers.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
That's the problem, isn't it?
I did see something on socials where someone was trying to explain why the Ferrari was so fast around, and I was like, they didn't understand anything about the active aero and stuff like that, because they were like, they found ways of opening the aero through at the front through the corners first, and at the back it's kind of allowed the air to flow. I'm like, not allowed to open it during the corners. It's closed during the corners. You're like, people are looking for any reasons why their car was quicker or that their car was a little bit slower than another car, and they're looking for, why their team, it's their year. They're saying, like, I get it. I appreciate the love for it. I really do. And it's what we're here for. Like, everyone wants their team, their driver. They want it to be their year.
Of course, yeah.
But the fact is, shakedown wasn't going to tell us everything.
No.
Testing isn't going to tell us everything. Melbourne will tell us exactly where we are at the start of the season. That's the only time we will know. Q1, Q2, Q3 of qualifying in Melbourne is where we'll understand exactly how the start of the year is shaking out. But it looks like it's going to be a messy couple of weeks to get there.
I would have thought so. Yeah. I just hope this doesn't turn into a big drama. That's not what I want.
No.
I want it to be a great start to the year. I don't want it to be every team's at war before the season even starts. I don't think that's beneficial to anyone, to be honest.
No. It'll definitely make Drive to Survive be something to watch the season after, but it won't be good for the sport, I don't think, if it goes the way of the courtrooms.
No.
Well, we've got testing next week, or in the next couple of days. So whatever limited stuff we get, we'll be able to talk about that.
Yes, definitely.
And then in the coming weeks, we'll have to put together our predictions.
Yes. I think once we've watched testing next week, and then the full testing that hopefully they'll let us see.
Yeah.
We will have to do our predictions, and it'll be drivers, constructors, you name it, like biggest winners, biggest flops, everything. But once they are set in stone. We cannot change them at the first race. We've just got to live with it.
Yeah. Put them in stone. We'll post them so you'll know our own predictions.
Yeah, we may live to regret them. And the good thing is, I don't think either of us will agree on them either, to be fair.
No, I think
No.
there might be one or two where we kind of like line up, but I think we'll probably have different constructors, different drivers champion.
Yes, definitely.
But I mean, testing, we could end up going, oh, by the way, yeah, it's definitely going to be them. But we won't know till Melbourne.
I don't know. No, we won't. No.
But I do think, bud, that probably wraps us up for the night.
It does. It does. That brings us to the end, yes.
Yeah, and that is the last of the lights out livery seasons, because that's all the teams revealed now.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love livery season, good grief, they stretched it out, man.
Yeah. Just a bit. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's been listening or watching on YouTube. Yeah. Again, we do thank you so much for all of your support so far. We are, just getting started. We're going to be every week through the season, unless something happens that means that we can't. Our aim is there's 52 weeks in a year. There'll be 52 shows of the Social Media Stewards F1 podcast. Like I say, unless something happens, in which case we'll let you guys know. But until next time, thank you so much for listening to us.
Yeah.
And take care.